In a heartfelt turn of events that's left Sister Wives fans both emotional and curious, Christine Brown has opened up about her daughter's shocking decision to move across the country. What began as a quiet family transition quickly turned into a wave of emotion as Christine shared the pain, pride, and heartbreak behind her daughter's life-changing choice. The beloved TLC star admitted that while she supports her daughter's pursuit of independence, the distance has taken a deep emotional toll on her and the rest of the Brown family. Now, fans are desperate to know what really drove this major move, and how is Christine coping with watching her little girl start a new life far from home. The Brown family of Sister Wives has never been a stranger to emotional earthquakes, but the latest aftershock has struck deeper than anyone expected. It is not just the ex-wives, the new beginnings, or the crumbling remnants of a once famous plural marriage that have captured attention this time. It's Mykelti Brown, the bubbly, compassionate daughter of Christine and Kody Brown, who has now taken a step that even her fiercely independent mother calls both heartbreaking and healing. Mykelti is moving across the country, leaving Utah behind to start fresh in Charlotte, North Carolina, and for the Browns, this decision feels like another symbolic goodbye, one layered with love, distance, and quiet pain. Christine Brown opened up about the move in a recent Sister Wives episode, her voice trembling as she tried to balance her pride for her daughter's courage with the ache of watching another piece of her heart pack up and drive away. "She's heading from Utah to Charlotte," she shared, visibly emotional, "and I think it's less about the place and more about her and daughter." Couldn't be clearer. Two women making the hardest choices, not out of anger, but out of the need to breathe again. For years, Mykelti was known as the family bridge builder. While tension brewed among her parents and their many children, she often acted as the peacemaker, the one who refused to choose sides even as lines were drawn in invisible ink across the Brown family's once united front. When Christine left Kody in 2021, followed by Janelle and eventually Mary, the family's emotional landscape shattered into multiple worlds, Kody and Robyn on one side, and the rest of the family trying to rebuild on the other. Mykelti tried to keep one foot in both worlds, staying in touch with Robyn, maintaining contact with her siblings, and trying to assure everyone that love could still exist even when the structure that held it together had fallen apart. But now that role has clearly taken its toll. According to Christine, her daughter's decision was driven by more than practical needs. Mykelti's husband, Tony, recently began exploring opportunities that align with his career goals, but Christine suspects that this move is about emotional survival as much as it is about professional growth. Mykelti's the kind of person who carries everyone else's emotions. She's always been the glue, but even glue starts to crack when there's too much pressure. That statement captures not just a daughter's exhaustion, but also a mother's recognition of history repeating itself. Christine knows what it's like to hold a family together with optimism and hope, to smile through disappointment and loneliness, and to realize one day that love can't be sustained by one person's effort alone. Watching Mykelti now, she sees her younger self, brave but burdened, kind, but quietly crumbling under the weight of everyone else's expectations. In Utah, Mykelti and Tony had built what appeared to be a comfortable life. Their home was near Christine, who had remarried and seemed to be thriving in her new marriage to David Woolley. Christine had built a life filled with laughter, cooking, travel, and the kind of everyday joy she was once deprived of in Flagstaff. Mykelti's proximity to her mother was both comforting and grounding. Christine had her daughter, her grandchildren, and the sense that the Brown women were finally forming their own community, one built on sisterhood rather than shared suffering. But even in that peace, unresolved tensions lingered. Kody's strained relationship with several of his older children, especially those from Christine's branch of the family, left Mykelti feeling like she was constantly caught in the middle. Sources close to the family have hinted that Mykelti's relationship with her father has been complicated ever since the plural family fractured. While she's remained in occasional contact with Kody and Robyn, the emotional connection isn't what it once was. "It's different now," one insider said. "There's love there, but it's distant. Everyone's healing in their own way, and Mykelti's just trying to find hers." The move to North Carolina might seem spontaneous, but for Mykelti, it's part of a long process of reclaiming peace. Christine's tone when speaking about her daughter's decision is a blend of maternal pride and aching nostalgia. "I get it," she admitted softly during her confessional. "Sometimes you just have to go. You can love your family and still need distance. That doesn't mean you're running away. It means you're finally giving yourself permission to rest." Fans who have followed Christine's journey from her tearful goodbye to Kody to her new life of happiness in Utah recognize those words as a reflection of the emotional wisdom she's gained since leaving. It's the kind of insight that only comes after years of pain and healing, and she's now passing that wisdom on to her daughter, even if it means letting her go. The emotional toll of the Brown family's breakup continues to ripple through every generation. For Christine, it means watching her children navigate the remnants of a world she once thought was eternal. For Mykelti, it means redefining what family means in the aftermath of separation. Though she has always maintained love and respect for her mother's choices, she has also been honest about how difficult it's been to see her family's name become synonymous with heartbreak and conflict. On social media, she has often tried to deflect the negativity, reminding fans that what they see on screen only captures a fraction of their real lives. But even the strongest hearts need rest, and perhaps this move to North Carolina is Mykelti's way of finding hers.
Christine, reflecting on the emotional cost of such decisions, admitted that letting go never gets easier, even when you've done it before. "When I left Flagstaff, I felt terrified," she said. "It wasn't just leaving a house, it was leaving years of memories, even the painful ones. Watching Mykelti pack up now, I felt that same ache all over again. But at the same time, I'm so proud of her. She's doing what's right for her family, and that's all I ever wanted." As cameras followed Christine through her Utah home, fans could sense the bittersweet air hanging over her confessional. Photos of Mykelti with her siblings lined the walls, smiling faces frozen in time before the family split. For Christine, every box Mykelti packed felt like another chapter closing, not in a tragic way, but in the quiet, necessary rhythm of change. She knows what it's like to crave freedom, but fear the loneliness that comes with it. "I told her," Christine recalled tearfully, "this isn't goodbye forever. It's just a new beginning, for both of us." In many ways, Mykelti's move mirrors the journey Christine began years ago when she chose independence over emotional exhaustion. For both women, these decisions weren't about rejecting family, they were about rediscovering themselves beyond the chaos of plural marriage and public scrutiny. While Christine has found new love and confidence in her marriage to David Woolley, she continues to carry empathy for the struggles her children face. She knows that even with love and support, healing from such a complex family dynamic takes years, sometimes decades. Meanwhile, Mykelti's new life in Charlotte represents more than just a physical relocation. It's a declaration of selfhood, a chance to build her own narrative away from the noise of Sister Wives fame. Fans speculate that she's seeking a quieter life for her growing family, away from the cameras and constant online chatter about the Browns. The move also places her closer to extended family on Tony's side and offers new opportunities for her children to grow up in a more balanced environment. For Christine, the idea of her grandchildren growing up farther away is painful, but she also knows it's the kind of growth she once wished for herself. The kind that only happens when you stop living for others' expectations. Still, the move has reignited emotional debates among fans about how much of the family's estrangement stems from Kody and Robyn's current relationship. Many believe that the lack of unity within the family continues to drive the children toward distance, both emotional and geographical. Every time someone moves away, one fan wrote online, "It feels like another piece of Kody's world falling apart." But maybe that's what happens when you build a family on uneven ground. The sentiment echoes throughout the fandom, which has grown increasingly sympathetic to the women and children who've had to rebuild from the emotional wreckage left behind. Christine, for her part, avoids assigning blame. In her confessional, she chose to focus on hope rather than resentment. She said, "I want Mykelti to know that home isn't about where you live, it's about who you become. If moving helps her find that peace, then that's all that matters." Those words, delivered with the steady conviction of someone who has walked through fire and emerged stronger, encapsulate the evolution of Christine Brown. Once the quiet, obedient wife, now the wise, nurturing matriarch whose strength shines brighter than ever. As the episode closed, cameras captured a tearful goodbye between Christine and Mykelti. The two embraced for a long moment, neither speaking, their silence saying what words could not. It was a farewell filled with both sadness and relief, the kind that mothers and daughters share when love means letting go. Christine later admitted that she cried for hours after they left, but when she finally sat down that evening with David by her side, she smiled through her tears. She said, "I realize that this is what it means to raise strong women. You teach them to fly and then you watch them soar, even when your heart wants them to stay." The Brown family has always been a symbol of unconventional love and complex bonds. But through all the chaos, Christine and Mykelti's story stands out as one of quiet courage and emotional truth. Their shared resilience reminds fans that healing is rarely tidy. It's messy, it's painful, and it often means saying goodbye to the places and people you once called home. Yet within that heartbreak lies hope, and within that distance lies the promise of peace. As Christine reflected on her daughter's journey, she left viewers with a message that resonated deeply with anyone who has ever faced a painful goodbye. She said, "Life doesn't always go the way you planned, but sometimes the hardest moves are the ones that lead you exactly where you're meant to be." And so, as Mykelti's caracoled away, filled with boxes and dreams of a new beginning, Christine watched from her porch, proud, heartbroken, and full of love. The mother who found her freedom by leaving now watched her daughter do the same, proving that strength runs deep in the Brown family bloodline. It's a legacy not of plural marriage or reality TV fame, but of women who refuse to settle for anything less than peace, even if it means driving thousands of miles to find it. But few moments have shaken fans to the core like the latest explosive fallout between Kody and Robyn Brown and their daughter Mykelti. What was once a seemingly unbreakable bond between father, stepmother, and daughter has now crumbled under the weight of accusations, tears, and cruel words that have left the family more fractured than ever. It began subtly, as many Brown family conflicts do, whispers of favoritism, rumors of betrayal, and the painful division between those who remained loyal to Kody and those who quietly sided with his ex-wives, Christine, Janelle, and Mary. Mykelti, Christine's daughter with Kody, had long been seen as a bridge between the warring factions. She maintained contact with her father and Robyn even after her mother's dramatic departure from the plural marriage, insisting that she wanted her children to know all sides of their family. But that bridge has now burned in spectacular fashion, following a confrontation that fans say may mark the point of no return. According to those close to the situation, the tension boiled over during a family gathering that was meant to promote healing after years of estrangement. Instead, the reunion became a battlefield of emotions. Kody reportedly accused Mykelti of disloyalty, suggesting that her recent social media comments and interviews painted him and Robyn in a negative light. Mykelti, known for her fiery personality and deep devotion to her mother Christine, didn't back down. She reminded her father that the world had seen his actions, the broken promises, the isolation, the favoritism, and that speaking her truth wasn't betrayal, it was survival. What came next was something no one expected. Robyn, usually careful about maintaining her image as the family's emotional anchor, allegedly snapped. Witnesses say she lashed out at Mykelti, calling her ungrateful and influenced by outsiders. For Robyn, loyalty has always been paramount, a theme that has run through many of her interactions on Sister Wives.
But this time, her version of loyalty seemed to come at the cost of compassion. When Mykelti defended her siblings and her mother, Robyn reportedly accused her of choosing Christine over her father. The argument quickly escalated, and the moment that stunned everyone came when Robyn allegedly declared she was done with Kody's older children, saying she could no longer support relationships built on hate. Those words, fans say, sounded like a disownment, a cruel severing of ties that underscored just how far the Brown family has fallen from their once idealized vision of unity. The episode left Mykelti in tears and Kody enraged, with the patriarch reportedly blaming Christine for turning their daughter against him. Yet those who know Mykelti insist she made her own choices, and that she had tried time and again to bring peace between her parents before finally realizing that the rift was unfixable. In the days following the confrontation, Mykelti took to her social media accounts to share cryptic messages about boundaries, emotional manipulation, and choosing peace over chaos. Fans immediately speculated that these were subtle jabs at her father and stepmother. The posts resonated with followers who have watched the Browns' family dynamic unravel for years. Many praised Mykelti for standing up to the emotional pressure that has defined so much of her upbringing. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn have reportedly retreated further into isolation. Sources say the couple has cut off contact with several of Kody's older children and even avoided major family gatherings, claiming they no longer feel safe being around those who don't respect the family hierarchy. Robyn's supposed disownment of Kody's kids has sparked outrage among fans who once believed she was the only wife who genuinely cared about the children's emotional well-being. Critics argue that Robyn has weaponized her role as the legal wife, using her influence to push away anyone who challenges her narrative. For years, Kody has publicly defended Robyn against accusations of favoritism, but even some of his most loyal supporters are now questioning his choices. The moment he turned on Mykelti, his own daughter, marks a dramatic shift in public perception. Once seen as a misunderstood father trying to hold a family together, Kody now appears to many as a man consumed by control and resentment. His emotional outbursts, once masked as frustration over disobedience, are being seen as cruelty. Viewers of Sister Wives have expressed heartbreak over watching Kody seemingly lose touch with empathy, compassion, and reality itself. Christine, on the other hand, has remained calm but firm in her response. Insiders close to her reveal that she's deeply hurt by what her daughter has endured, but she's not surprised. Christine has long said that Kody's anger often emerges when he feels powerless. She told friends that Kody's pattern of emotional manipulation and guilt-tripping